Okay, we're live. This is take two. Okay, it looks like I was live online, but without the audio. So let's restart. All right. So, hello everybody. Thanks for joining us today. This is a special day, Mother's Day, and we just wanted to kind of um, designate this or dedicate this uh, special event to all mothers, future mothers, because it's something very special, obviously. So I'm Dr. Dekel. I'm board certified OBGYN, um, only for 42 years. And in my career, I've delivered thousands of babies, but full disclosure, I do not do deliveries anymore, even though we do get questions. Women call, say, listen, I'm pregnant. Can you deliver me? But I've done that. At this point, my task and my job is really help women and men, for that matter, also, and children, because I do holistic medicine, help them with my experience to answer their questions and their concerns. So, what you see behind me is actually a little mural that we have in our office, and we want to do a little something special today just to brighten up. And as you can see, it's pretty bright up. So, what I would like to do today is really just go through the cycle of life of women and just kind of cover it, not in depth because time is just not allowed to do that, but just to give you some glimpse and some kind of ideas of what can be done. Number one, to stay healthy. Number two, face motherhood with full possibilities of being the right energy, the right mind frame, etc., and then continue and don't get exhausted in the process because it's for those of you who already have had children, you know what I'm talking about. So let's start with the journey. The journey starts in puberty. In the United States, sometimes it's anywhere between 10 and 12. Actually, it's getting early and early. But usually, what I see at that age group is really menstrual irregularities, uh, either bleeding too frequently or not enough. Also, I'm encountering pain, okay? Also, PMS, etc. What I find is that this is really what we call estrogen dominance, which in simple English means we just don't have enough progesterone on board. So what do? Well, we do some lab testing. I do a full interview and see what the complaints are, what's going on with the lifestyle, what kind of diet we have. Okay, so wait a minute, what does it have to do with diet? It has a lot to do with diet, especially high sugar diet, high carb diet. Definitely interfere with your menstrual cycle. Okay, so in the beginning, once I find out what's going on, the remedy and the treatment is not that difficult because what we're going to do is we're going to supplement with bioidentical natural progesterone, comes in a cream, from right day 14 of a cycle to day 28, supporting that part of the cycle, which is the second part, because usually we're supposed to have a period every 28 days, 4 weeks, etc. It's a lunar months kind of thing. And believe it or not, simple as that, and will take care of these issues. So now we get a little later in life, in the 20s, 30s, even 40s, and now we say, okay, uh, we want to get pregnant. What do we need to do? What do we need to know about it? Okay. Well, first and foremost is nutrition. Okay. You need to be in a good physical, mental, emotional state. Okay. So again, it talks about lifestyle, which is what? What we eat, how we digest, how we eliminate, the hormones that we have, the sleep that we have or don't have, stress, and management of emotions. All right. So, in general, what I would suggest to do is really I suggest a keto like or keto light, whatever you want to call it, lifestyle. I'm not talking about diet because diet by definition is hard to do. Who wants to live on a diet the rest of their life? But if you do a lifestyle of keto, which means what? Higher fat and less carbs, you're going to be fine the rest of your life. Because unfortunately, for 50 years, the government has told us that we need to have 5 servings of carbs, which is crazy, by the way, well proven. So, what I do suggest is really good fats: avocado, nuts and seeds, olive oil, coconut oil, eggs, grass fed beef, grass fed butter, etc. So, the food should be very, it's not complicated. We're going to have a protein, vegetable, some fat, and a salad, and we're done. Something else that I would like to uh, mention is don't eat unless you're hungry. I ask my patients, are you hungry when you wake up? 9 out of 10 will say no. I say, so what do you have for breakfast? And they tell you what they have for breakfast. They say, well, if you're not hungry, why do you eat? Well, we eat because we love to eat. And not only that, but mothers tell us, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But guess what? It's not. Okay. So, first rule of the game, in my opinion, is what? Eat only when you're hungry because we all overeat. We know that. We just don't spend the calories in our daily life, most of us, to support the kind of food and the amount of calories that we're consuming every day, eating. Okay. So what does it lead to? Well, it leads to overweight. And not only that, but it can lead to insulin resistance and set us up for what? Borderline diabetes. Now, the thing is, pregnancy by itself is kind of a little bit of diabetic promoter. Why? Because the baby uses sugar. All right. So we have hormones that are increasing in pregnancy to get the baby the amount of sugar that it needs to get the energy. Well, of course, it needs fatty acids, amino acids, and on and on and on. But the thing is, if we consume too many carbs during the pregnancy, what will happen is, number one, we'll get too much weight. And you say, well, what is a good amount of weight? There's no reason to gain more than 20, 25 pounds the most. Okay. Unfortunately, sometimes in society we think, well, I'm pregnant, I have carte blanche to have this, I really feel like I want chocolate, I want desserts. Yeah, I know we want. But the question is how big this baby is going to be because the size of the baby directly depended on the level of sugar. Not only that, you don't want to be what we call gestational diabetes, okay, which really means what? The sugar is elevated. Because then we have a big baby, and big baby hard to deliver, so we have a possibility of having cesarean section, which we would like to avoid. Okay. Not only that, but when we deliver the baby, isn't it easier to get rid of? Because we're talking about 20 pounds and 7 pounds of baby, the uterus is about 2 pounds, the water is about 2 pounds, the placenta is a pound. We just have to deal with 10 pounds, 9 pounds of extra weight that we can lose relatively easy. But what if we have 40 pounds? So you see what I'm talking about? So it's about planning and just having self-discipline, and you'll get the right results. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about women who got pregnant, delivered, or women who want to postpone pregnancy. Obviously, today there are a lot of women who are professionals and they decide, you know what, I don't want to get pregnant until I'm 35, which is fine. Well, the thing is, how do we prevent pregnancy? All right. The easy, quote unquote, the easy way to deal with it would be birth control pills, which I used to prescribe a lot in my previous life as a conventional OBGYN. But now, knowing better, I would not recommend birth control pills. And I don't want to belabor the item, the why. You can research this, look at side effects of birth control pills. So, what do you suggest? Well, why don't you look into a modality called the vaginal sponge? It's almost like a tampon that works very well, very easy to insert, easy to get rid of. It's good for 24 hours. Or if you don't want that obviously barrier methods are obviously available, but also an IUD intrauterine device. I would suggest to use the copper T, okay, and not the progesterone, because it's not a progesterone. It's actually manufactured what they call progesterone, but it's not. Okay. So now that we got pregnant, what do we do? Well, it's all about logistics. So we have to plan what we're going to eat, how we're going to do it, what kind of activity we have, what kind of exercise. My suggestion is really to continue your lifestyle the way it is. I would avoid any competitive sports at that point, okay? But walking is great, any kind of elliptical, etc. I would avoid running because I don't want anybody to get injured, okay? And especially later on in pregnancy, as we're getting bigger, obviously a fall may create a problem, okay? So also sleep is very important, okay? You really, and also mental state, of emotional state, okay? There's a lot of, for lack of better words, actually fear. It's maybe innate, Will I be able to deliver this baby? Will I be able to withstand labor? Will I be able to push and to deliver, etc.? Well, I can tell you one thing. Get ready. Childbearing is a quote unquote normal and natural process, but you need to get ready for it. So Lamaze, which are educational remedies, not remedies, but actually teaching how to deal with the pain and labor. Also, epidural today is really very, very acceptable and helps a lot to deal with the pain, etc. And a good physician. All right. I do recommend to look into also midwives that work with doctors. The reason is that midwives will spend the time in labor delivery, whereas usually doctors who are very busy will actually show up for delivery itself. So again, it's more emotional support. Okay. Again, the nurses in the labor and delivery are absolutely incredible. Uh, I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you that I couldn't do it without nursing. Okay, because why? Because they support you. Okay, so look into that uh, modality and that possibility. I would do also prenatal vitamins, and not necessarily the prenatal, but just make sure that you take the right amount of vitamins. If you also getting pregnant, I would do omega-3, very important. I would do about 3 to 4 grams. The one we have in prenatal is not enough. Okay, it was found that getting enough omega-3 during pregnancy actually increases the IQ of the baby by up to 10 points. Well, I would like to have that 10 points. It gives you a lot of leeway for the baby to actually excel in life. So that's important. So uh, what I would like to do now is to move to this next stage and then kind of summarize it a little bit to just kind of put it all together. So then we had children, great, all right. Uh, we then go into perimenopause. Perimenopause meaning what? Before menopause. And what happens then? It's usually the late 40s, can be as early as 45, etc. What happens? Start to missing periods, maybe irregular periods, maybe some other issues, etc. And again, surprisingly, the answer is the same as what it was when you were 20, in the teens or 20s, and you had irregular periods. It's again estrogen dominance. Okay, so again, the relatively easy answer would be natural bioidentical hormone of progesterone. Comes as a cream again between day 14 to 28, continue to be regular, etc. And then as we get to the relative age of, let's say, 52 or so, we have no periods anymore. Okay, and then you realize, wait a minute, what was my last period? Oh my goodness, it was a year ago. Well, now by definition, you're considered to be menopausal. All right. Now, 50% of women go through this without too many issues, but 50% do have the famous hot flashes. And again, the hot flashes are due because of imbalance between estrogen and progesterone, mainly. All right. So again, What we do for that is really balance the hormones correctly. There's absolutely no reason to have hot flashes. There's no use to getting used to them, especially when it wakes you up, uh, because in holistic medicine, sleep is more important than food. And if you have hot flashes 2, 3, 4 times a night and you wake up, what kind of sleep is that? So you wake up in the morning and you're totally exhausted, and that also weakens the immune system. And now we open ourselves to what? To whatever other issues happen because just not enough energy. Okay. So, uh, again, I always suggest to my patients to educate themselves about the subject. And I do give different books and articles for them to read because there's a lot of misconception about hormone replacement, period. Okay. Now, there's a big difference between bioidentical hormone replacement and commercial or pharmaceutical. Big, big, big difference. And my suggestion is that you read about the differences. There's really, if we summarize it, if you look at the right literature, women who take bioidentical hormone replacement correctly in menopause will have less chance of getting breast cancer and uterine cancer than women who take nothing. Okay. Not only that, how about that? Preventing or addressing vaginal dryness, libido, osteoporosis, losing cognitive function, dementia. All these are very, very important to be addressed, and they can be addressed by using the right regimen of bioidentical hormones. What I would like to do now is really just, again, celebrating Mother's Day. What I found over the years is that women are so busy with themselves, if they have a job, the kids, the husband, the parents in law. Life, it gets crazy. And what I found is that, especially women, okay, have an issue with free time. And I call it the mommy syndrome. Why? Because women are in their nature are very nurturing. And what happens is they neglect themselves. So when we have a conversation and I kind of see what the story is because I listen very carefully, I say to them, how about I write you a prescription for 45 minutes a day just for yourself? Do whatever puts a smile on your face. And they say, oh, wow, this is great. But then it's like the smile disappears. Why? They realize that they cannot squeeze 45 minutes a day just for themselves. And I tell them, listen, you have to. This is your life. This is your health. You're working crazy, crazy hours. And I call homework, work. Okay. You need to find time. You need to find time to do something special for yourself. Okay. How about the facial? How about the massage? How about just go for a walk on the beach and watch the birds? Listen to music. Do something without the phone, without the kids, without the husband, without anything. Okay. Meditation. You need to find a way to regenerate yourself. Because if we just do continuously, guess what? We're running out of energy and out of resources. So that's very important. Okay. We have a couple of questions that we got before that I would like to address, and then we can go forward with our festivities. Okay. So Melissa's asked, what's the most important thing I can do as a new mother for myself? Well, we just answered that. Take care of yourself. Okay. And I know it's crazy, especially in the first few months. I mean, most of us are like zombies because why? You don't sleep. But once the baby starts to sleep, try to get in the old routine. Try to say, okay, I need to take care of myself because if I don't have the energy, I I can't take care of anybody. So again, that's a good question. Uh, okay, Jennifer asks, I had my first baby 3 months ago and still carrying some baby weight. What can we do? Well, remember what I said before. Okay, number one, try not to get too much weight. But the fact is the fact right now. Okay, what I would do is what? Keto lifestyle, as we spoke before. Also, intermittent fasting. Okay, we do eat too many times a day. Intermittent fasting is if you have dinner at 6 o'clock, you don't have the next meal until 12 or even 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And believe it or not, the only thing you need to do is what? Hydration. Hydration is absolutely very, very important. Okay. And just put yourself first. I know it sounds strange, but it's important. Because even when you put yourself first, I know it's not going to be completely first. You're going to be taking care of everybody else. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to emphasize absolutely take care of yourself. So again, carbs makes us fat. Fat makes us thin. Okay, not only that, but carbs, usually after 2 hours, because carbs get metabolized very fast. So after 2 hours, we're hungry again. So what happens? We go for another carb. And then goes what? Sugar goes up, insulin goes up, then we go down with the sugar, and now we're hungry again. Whereas fat has a more consistent energy pattern. Okay, not only that, but fat will make you satiated for a longer period of time. So that's what needs to be happening. Again, start your activities, some exercise, some walking, etc. You don't have to go crazy about it, but any kind. You see, every pound of fat is about 3,500 calories. So if we just 500 calories short per day, okay, every 7 days we're going to lose a pound of fat. So let's assume you gain 30 pounds, okay, and you have really 15 pounds, 17 pounds after delivery and what we just described. Well, 17 pounds, okay, at 4 pounds a month, we're talking about what, 4 months, okay? But that takes some discipline, meaning what? Stay away from the sugar, okay? If you like sweets like I do, take stevia. Your dessert should be fruits, stay away from it. And it's not easy. It's like the most difficult decision is not to have it at home, because if we have it at home, we're going to consume it. So that's the sum of it. And I think we have one more. All right, Karen. I'm a mother of 3, having my 3rd child 3 months ago. I was fine with the first 2, but I've been depressed over the last few months. Thank you for that. This is a very, very important question. Everybody heard about postpartum depression, okay? And what they do is they give a medication. It's like, Prozac and Paxil and the rest of it, et cetera, et cetera. This is, again, not enough progesterone. I know it's almost sounds crazy. So every problem is progesterone? Well, many are, okay? And it's pretty incredible that natural bioidentical hormone can take care of postpartum depression very easily, okay? So if you feel that this is an issue, okay, number one is don't blame yourself. Don't think, oh my God, I'm bad mother. No. This is a hormone issue, okay? And it's almost like you feel that you're out of control, and you are, because if our hormones are not on par, we're not going to function right, okay? So, but the solution is not difficult, all right? I always suggest stay away from medication. There are no good drugs long-term, period. If he has an issue, let's find out what it is. That's what holistic medicine is all about. Let's try to find out what it is and fix it. Well, I hope that gives you some kind of idea about a little bit about everything, okay? We're definitely happy to have questions if you have any questions, just email us, okay, or give us a call, and we'll be happy to help you. I have my partner here. He probably wants to say hello and just give you some suggestions. So, Brandon.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Brandon Roberts. I'm the Director of Marketing here. Thank you, everyone, for watching, especially those that tuned in, but even those that are going to watch on the live replay. Your support is so important and crucial in helping us achieve our goals. So our mission is really to try to change the way medicine is approached, especially here in the United States, but all over the world. And we want to spread a message of love, holistic healing, and just letting you know that it's a small click or a like or subscribe for you, but it's a huge step forward for us. So thank you. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Happy wish well to all you new mothers and everyone that's the real heroes of today's Mother's Day occasion.
Happy Mother's Day, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.